It's unbelievable. I mean, yesterday it went through the $500 level. You could see it here, edging up the chart. It's edging up a little bit again today. You know, the big question on everybody's mind, George, is when is Apple going to pay a dividend? What are they going to use for all? They have all that cash on the balance sheet. You know, when is the company going to pay out a dividend? And I think a lot of analysts are saying that you could, sometime over the next year, and maybe even sooner than that, is when something may happen. Right.
And there are two events that to watch for. One, you have Tim Cook, who's going to be presenting at a Goldman Tech conference today at 3:30 Eastern Time. So that's certainly something to monitor. And then on February 23rd, they're going to have a shareholder meeting, which is also another place where they could give some type of announcement about dividend. So those are two catalysts for Apple. But what's incredible to think about is you have a stock that has blown through 300, 400, and is now passed through 500, and there has been no fatigue with the stock.
Right.
You know, and actually people are saying it's still cheap, especially when you consider that it has $100 billion worth of cash in the bank, which is, you know, almost $100 of share price right there. And they still have many catalysts going for them. They're still strong in the iPad. They're still strong in the iPhone. But we've seen this movie before. We know that stocks get hot, have these runs, and eventually come down. Any sense as to when that might happen, or what might be the catalyst that knocks it down?
That's the multi-million-dollar question, right? I mean, you know, any stock that has such a huge run-up is due for some sort of pullback. And then a stock like Apple with a market cap of over $460 billion, to see it run up like this is just astounding. And so you do have some people out there that are now saying, you know, if the market shows any sign of fatigue, that Apple could be one of the first ones that pulls back. But we've heard that so long now.
And when you take a look at the 5-year chart, you can see that it has held up. It's held up during any sort of downturn. I mean, even in the 08 downturn, it still held up very well. And
much better than its competitors, or basically than anyone else. So.
Exactly. And you know, again, it seems as if short term, there are still a lot of positives. Right. They're still strong in their key markets. They're still attractively valued by many metrics. They've got, you know, presumably a new iPad coming out, presumably a new Apple TV coming out. You know, it'll be interesting to see. You know, the concern has been with Steve Jobs' death. Will that catch up with Apple at some point, a couple of years down, where maybe his long-term vision has run out, and we'll see if maybe that's when we start to see some missteps that might cause people to recalculate their Apple.
Until then, though, people don't want to. You don't want to miss more upside in this name, and there's been so much, and so, you know, a lot of people are saying, you know, this has gone up so much, and I don't necessarily think it's going to end anytime soon. So. It's just one of those names that's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable to watch, and so time will tell.